More mindless musings of friends while I watch someone else suck at Dark Souls.
And I
So
don't know,
many.
maybe Joe's the next lawnmower man.
Oh, Kieran,
Oh.
you'd have God knows how many pizzas coming to your house if I was.
Okay, first
Dude, I
off,
don't care. I randomly got given a pizza earlier, and I was like, "Oh, cool, pizza!" I had no idea a pizza was coming. Someone just ordered one, gave it to me.
And I'm
Really
like,
didn't
sniper,
care.
you took it because otherwise, Kiefer Sutherland might have a gun to your head.
Dude, free pizza.
I would have laughed if that entire movie's plot was just because we didn't take the pizza.
Now, to be fair, when it comes to something like that, that can be interpreted in multiple different ways. Like, oh, you took a pizza that could have easily been meant for someone else. Either way, I mean, there's no actual answer for that.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, really, he should have just been polite. It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't order a pizza. No, thank you.
he actually did at first.
He did.
So what are you talking about? I didn't order any pizza.
But the
And the guy
pizza's
was
already.
very insistent.
I think the pizza's already paid for too, if I'm remembering correct.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
When he got rude was when he gave him the $10 and said to go feed it to the homeless guy. Here's $10. Use it to buy yourself a meal. Looks like you could use a good meal, which was really rude because the guy was a little pudgy. That was a real dick thing to say.
The moral of the story is don't turn down a free pizza.
Don't frequent the same public access thing, knowing full well there's a bunch of seedy characters around it. And act like a
There's another
dick
one.
the
How
entire
about
time.
just don't cheat on your wife.
Also, yeah, well,
Yeah, that's
think
a
the-
big one.
Okay, I think the founding reason of why he actually started, that whole movie in the first place and like why it happened to him is because he thought he was untouchable because he was just another slime ball and not the worst slime ball in the pit. Like it has this.
Yeah, because he was a slime ball, but part of his sliminess was screwing around on his wife.
Well, he kept frequenting the same phone booth. That's how he got noticed in the first place, right? And he just happened to act like a particularly horrific dickbag to that poor guy who walked up and offered him a free pizza.
Did he screw around with his wife, or was he just planning to?
And
I
he's
mean,
planning
both
to-
are best, but
He kept hoping that Katie Holmes' character would finally,
Sleep.
blow him, but he had not done it yet.
so it really is basically a therapy session.
But that was just with that character. We don't know if he had done it to with anyone else.
Well, he did.
Only
he
that
killed
one
them.
character was brought up.
He mentioned 2 other people he murdered.
No. The Katie Holmes character.
Oh, right.
What was her name? Was it Pamela?
Yes?
Okay. Don't know if Pam was the only girl that he was trying to get on the side, or if he'd had another one on the side before this.
True.
Just that's the one that he was trying to get on the side at this point.
I thought he mentioned that he fantasizes doing this with other women, and, well, whatever, it don't matter.
What matters is that he was given a second chance to become a decent human being.
Was he? You get a second chance. If you do it again, I'll kill you. It's not really a second chance, is it? It's more like
It is a second chance because he didn't get killed for that one.
but he shouldn't have been killed in the first place. There's a million worse people on the planet that should have been killed for worse things.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that.
The,
I can't believe everybody is just overlooking the fact that Kiefer Sutherland is a very, very, very bad man in that movie, and everybody's just focusing on like the lead character.
Sutherland also lied to him a couple of times.
Like
That
Sutherland
could-
kills 2 people in that movie, and everybody talks over that.
Oh, yeah, the pizza guy got it. What did he do?
The pizza guy was innocent.
Actually, it was 4.
Wait, where's the other 2?
Okay, so when he was talking, he named 2 other people who got killed at phone booths that he killed.
Yeah, we
Oh,
see, like,
but
He
there is-
flashbacks.
said,
they're
remember, I killed
assassinations.
these other 2 guys, and these are the things that they were doing. If they had just been honest and confessed, they could have lived. And then when Russell Crowe was in the phone booth, he killed the pimp, and then he killed the pizza guy in order to make his escape.
Okay, do you know the original concept for the movie? I'm guessing nobody does. Do you know
Nope.
the original draft for like the script and everything?
Nope.
You okay, Joe? You sound like you're out of breath there, bud.
I'm okay.
All right. The original draft for the movie was that he was supposed to be the bride, his wife. It was supposed to be her brother-in-law. And the entire thing is the brother-in-law is holding him at gunpoint, not knowing who he is, and he's basically making sure that the marriage gets fixed. That he knows he's cheating on her, or he's thinking of doing so in the first place, and he's basically holding him accountable. That's why he holds him at gunpoint in the entire thing. He's also, it just so happens coincidentally to be a badass assassin sniper. But for some strange reason, they didn't want to give any details away of the plot in the final draft that they decided on. Of Sutherland's name, his character, everything. They just wanted it completely anonymous. He was just a malicious voice on the other end of the line. That was it. They didn't want to go too deep into it, but
I thought that it worked.
it still doesn't change the fact that he's a horrible, horrible guy. It just is worse than Colin Farrell's character.
Oh, I never said that he wasn't.
Why are so many things getting like a second season or whatever, like many years later? Fucking Shaman King's getting another fucking season.
No,
Actually, it's
Jesus.
going.
Oh,
Shaman King is going to complete reconstruction.
It's like
complete
Brotherhood.
reconstruction.
It is utterly from beginning to end now. The original show did not get a actual canonical.
No,
finals.
I watched it and you could tell they just kind of cut everything just to try and finish it.
Oh, not just that, but they
It's
also
on
censored
YouTube.
everything. Hey, they also censored like 70% of that whole thing.
Oh, did they? I wonder how much 4Kids censored then, because they dubbed it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like characters like getting killed and all sorts of like racial things like drugs, sex, all kinds of horrific things in that show. It blows my mind because they reckon it's like actually one of the worst for it. You know, everybody lampshaded on the idea of like One Piece was the worst originally because they turned a gun into like a lollipop or something.
No, they turned Sanji's cigarette into a lollipop.
Yeah.
They turned a gun into a telephone.
Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. That's like the
And
worst.
Spielberg turned guns into walkie-talkies. Mm.
Stay back, kid. I know how to use this walkie-talkie.
Oh Jesus! They're actually turning this manga into a fucking anime now.
What's that?
I gotta watch this.
What? Shaman King?
No. There's another one. I've known of this manga for a while, but I didn't realize it was getting an anime adaptation. It's next month. Coming out.
Megalobox? What is this? What is
One
it?
second.
You
Yeah,
lost
Goku
me. I know
Shippuden.
that means 5, but
Yeah, I never heard of this before.
it means 5 something.
Read the synopsis. Someone read it out loud.
Okay. The Marvel Tatsu, Legend of Yakuza, single-handedly defeated a rival gang with a lead pipe. Get off my anime list. Is known to strike fear in both hardened police officers and vicious criminals. Soon after his sudden disappearance, he resurfaces with a slight change of profession. Now equipped with an apron, Tatsu has given up violence and is determined and trying to make an honest living as a house husband. Okay.
So this is basically just another Devil's a part-timer.
Kinda. Yeah.
Whilst adapting to mundane household tasks, Tatsu finds that a house husband has its own challenges, from the battlefield known as the supermarket sale to failures in the kitchen. Despite living peacefully, misunderstandings seem to follow him left and right. I can't pronounce that name. This series follows the daily life of a comically serious ex-Yakuza member as he leaves behind a strange and dangerous previous life to become a stay-at-home husband. I like it. This is great.
Yeah.
This is good.
It's apparently going to be a Netflix show. Oh man,
I
I've got to
will
see this.
watch that. I will watch that.
I've not like followed. I've not read all the manga or anything like that, but I've seen like bits and pieces of like the strips, and it was amusing. Just the concept alone is enough to fucking watch it, though. Like you said, it's basically Devil as a part-timer.
The name of the actual show literally just translates the way of the house husband.
Mhm.
But it's like the design of the lead character. He looks shady as hell. He looks
Yeah.
horrific.
He looks shady as hell, but he's actually just a down-to-earth normal guy, just trying to be like a good house husband. But clearly got like that very ingrained kind of Yakuza kind of thinking. It's like one of the obviously it'd be like way further down the line. There was like a manga strip of him joining. I think it was like a sewing club or like a neighborhood watch association or some shit. And he's just sitting in there with a load of these other like older women. And he's thinking, just like, oh, these are like the top ranked ones. It's like I must show like respect. Other such shit.
Oh my god. Oh, who
Talking about
animated
it like there's some
this?
huge thing.
Who animated this?
What studio?
Ah, this is terrible. Oh, what a shame.
All right, let's see. How bad?
It looks like a slideshow. What a shame.
It could just be a slideshow, buddy.
No, it could be a
It's a
full
teaser
coma, is what you're saying.
If it's
Okay, so it
not
could
that
just.
bad.
What?
I'm looking at a teaser trailer now, buddy.
Alright.
It's
Watch
not
the
that
trailer.
bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see your issue. He looks good, but everybody else, no.
But it's not even about that. It's about the fact that it looks like it's been made on a horseshoe budget. It says Netflix anime series. What it means is Netflix slideshow. Let's be honest. What a shame. I was actually looking forward to that for a second then. Oh.
Recently saw a show called Dota: Dragon's Blood, and it's a Studio Mirror show, so I thought it would look gorgeous animation-wise.
Dawn of the Agents joke.
And it's a piece of shit anime. Like
Yeah.
even Tony Todd dubbing a dragon couldn't save it.
Sucks.
Like that's what got me in the door when I heard Tony Todd was going to be in it.
Yeah, because Tony Todd is awesome.
Tom's still into his Beastars. I've yet to even watch it.
Beastars is great. Beastars is fantastic.
It's on Netflix.
Yes. That's the one that I recommended to you.
I don't
It's
like furry shit.
it's Carol, this is the only furry show that I've recommended to you.
The furry thing is kind of relevant in a way, though. It's much like the movie Zootopia with the whole predator versus prey thing.
Oh, so they turn it into a class system then.
Yeah, they kind of do. Yeah, the Beastars is kind of like it's Zootopia, but for like adults. It is clearly meant to be like, how the hell do you make a characterization, like a relationship, work if you basically have species difference between the two of you?
Zootopia was a surprisingly well-told movie, I felt.
It was
It
decent.
was pretty good.
And I should know, Julia made me watch it 10 times.
Joe for
And the other 10 times are the ones that you insisted on.
All summer long of whatever year that movie came out. Just every time it rained, can we watch Zootopia? Can we watch Zootopia? I'm so glad she found a better role model like Emperor Palpatine. But yeah, I actually like Zootopia.
That's a good movie. I just wish the stupid species class thing wasn't like the main point of the movie, but I guess it is.
So
So
I'm
You okay? Here's the thing that Zootopia movie is like, you have all these characters that have like well established identities, personalities, and everything, and they just get caught up in the species racial thing. Is the plot.
but Beastars is that, but you know, slightly more mature.
Yeah, way more mature. In fact, it's like actually very, very dark. Like, I'll give you an example. Your main character in that series is a wolf, and unlike most wolves, he's kind of like on his own. Nobody trusts him because he's a wolf, right? But he's in a system where he has to work with other people around him. He has to live with other people around him, and he gradually gets friends and such like that. But his personality is always kind of like dour, sullen, and kind of like he's trying to earn everybody's respect because nobody trusts him. And he's also trying to dull his instincts, which is eat people, because he is a wolf.
Wolves actually have no interest in eating people.
No,
They
but
will defend themselves if absolutely necessary, but
he wishes to eat the people in this series. Carol, are animals. They're
Yeah.
all furries.
I was about to say Phil's probably meaning people as in people in that show.
In that
oh,
case,
as in
anthropomorphic,
bunnies
kinda like, yeah.
and Okay.
Like, he wishes to basically eat his love interest in that show, but he has to dull his instincts to do so.
What does he eat then if he doesn't eat
I mean, you know,
wink wink people?
whatever the hell. Like, the whole point of his character is like it's a tragic kind of relationship.
But like in
What?
this universe,
What species is his love interest?
A rabbit.
so this is Zootopia. Wait, no,
That is nature.
Yeah.
wait, but okay, like I know this is a Futurama gag, but it's also a very horrific one. Like, no, we could teach animals to be vegetarians. We taught a lion how to eat tofu. So, like, how does this work with a wolf? Wolves need to eat meat.
So do lions. All cats are obligatory carnivores.
But again, it's like a good character study. It's like remarkably good. And not just that, but this is like one of the only 3D shows that I've thought, oh wow, the 3D doesn't hold it back. In fact, the 3D works for its advantage because they can do animation cheap on the fly for this project as long as they like, and they're not wasting assets. They're not wasting ink or anything.
Wait, they're using 3D cells.
Yeah, no, but this is like honestly one of the best examples of 3D animation done right, where it puts the stuff like Reboot originally in the 90s to shame because it's so detailed. It's so high effort.
Well,
like-
everything puts that to shame nowadays.
Like, Joe, this is a movie budget TV show.
Now, let me look at the. Oh, this actually doesn't look that bad. Hey, I'm looking at it, buddy. I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it.
All right, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's a good show. There's a stop motion opening as well, which is really good. This is kind of like a jazzy song. Carol, I keep saying you'd love it. Like, just the second season, I think, starts this month. Just wait till that's done, then watch the first two seasons back to back. I think it's dubbed as well. You'd probably like it.
Mm.
If it's on Netflix, it is dubbed. And any, like, I don't know if you know this about anime, but any anime released on Netflix, mandatory has to have it dubbed for some reason.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's like
He just
part of
said
their.
he doesn't know.
Well, for the record, that's only every anime they themselves have licensed, because not licensed, produced. Netflix about 2 or 3 years ago started producing their own animes.
A predominantly Western company wanting to make sure that the things they produce speak a language that 90% of their consumer base speak. Yeah.
You know why that is? Because they looked at the numbers Funimation were bringing in, and they were like, holy shit, we want that money. We want some of that pile.
Netflix is surprisingly popular overseas too. That's like a global company now.
Oh yeah, like Netflix
So-
is
It's still majority Western though, and like the majority of the world at this point does speak English, so it kind of makes sense.
So here's the real question. Is Netflix trying to rival Disney, or is Netflix hoping to get bought out by Disney?
No, why would you
Both.
think Disney are even involved in that? Like, Disney are not the bog, they're not involved in every single slice of the pie there is out
Because
there.
they own just about everything.
Yeah, but they suck at games. They have to rely on Square Enix to make Kingdom Hearts games. They can't even do those right. I mean,
Disney is not 100% the juggernaut it was at the moment.
yes,
'cause
especially the last 2 years have kind of hurt it really
the
big.
pandemic has hit them a lot harder than most of the other companies. Because their theme parks are like hemorrhaging money right now.
Like, Disney is currently doing what Dorsch's
Yeah,
did.
but they'll make that up when things open up again. I mean, how many people are you gonna think? How many people do you think gonna be like, "Oh, we can finally go outside. Let's actually go take that trip we wanted to fucking Disney World or whatever."
I told you about Dorsch's to like last year, didn't I? How this New York restaurant that was once in the 90s massively swanky and like very high class, right? It was for a lot of elitist kind of interest at the time. Dorsch's used to be like this place in the 90s where people would have to queue up for weeks to get like reservations for it, right? And obviously because of the pandemic that happened last year, they lost so much money in weeks, and then eventually weeks turned to months, and they were like, were closing down chains everywhere in the States. And the issue came about when one guy talked up to his boss, like, hang on, why don't we just do deliveries like every other restaurant, every other like third party who just does like, food in general, caters essentially, right? And the boss silenced this guy because he said, like, don't be stupid. Think of the dignity of the company. Think of like the outlook of the company and what we mean to our customer. And this guy boldly stepped up a second time and said, like, well, don't you think the customer can't get to you in the first place? We're on about survival of the company here. And he was right. This guy ends up making like millions more for the chain again. And Dorsch started doing deliveries out to houses all across the States. And they become, successful again during last year's whole pandemic situation and this year's thing too. So, like, even Disney has got to go through that whole point that some, state and say, like, how do we adapt to this? Oh, streaming
Yeah,
services.
but you can't deliver a theme park to somebody's home.
Yes,
Well,
you can.
yeah.
Yes,
Well-
you can. It's called streaming services. It's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've had 10
And they've
years
done
to
that,
make
but
it.
it's not. They have Disney Plus and whatever,
Like,
but
you-
it's not the same as the theme parks.
Here's the
That's
thing.
just something that they're going to have to wait until everything opens up again, and people
you
will
just
flock back to
gave
them.
me that sentence. You just played FF14 with me for like the last few months. Okay, that is the definition of a theme park MMO.
Yeah, Phil's right about that.
Yeah, no.
Like, the only reason I told you about FF14 in the first place is because it's literally a theme park of the whole Final Fantasy series. There's like something from everything in